Hari Om Tat Sat, yogis. Welcome to a 20-minute moon flow, a gentle moon flow. Just come to sit in whatever comfortable seated position you want to be in. If you've got an essential oil, have a whiff and a sigh. Same principle, even if there's no oil, take a good deep breath in and exhale, sigh it out. And we are in to our 20 minutes. And just begin to arrive. Taking whatever gentle movement it is that you need to begin to settle into your body, to embody, to materialize, to arrive here now. Bring your hands to prayer at the heart center. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Lift the sternum slightly to meet the thumbs, making sure that you're not curving too much in the lower back, just shifting the belly button towards the spine and taking the lumbar spine a little further back, for evening out the lower back. Inhale, exhale. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Guru Dev. Om Guru Dev Namo. Taking 2-3 rounds of full yogic breath, breathing all the way down into the lower belly, the middle lungs, and the upper lungs, keeping the hands at prayer, sitting up nice and tall, pressing the finger pads in towards each other, and beginning to activate your bones. And our mantra for today in our gentle moon practice is "Love is in my bones." It's from a beautiful song that I know, so I'm going to sing it. Love be in my bones. So that's my mantra. That's our mantra for this moon practice, settling deep into your body. Gently beginning to sway or rock backwards and forwards or side to side, maybe even taking a full Sufi roll, keeping your hands at prayer. Sufi roll, you're shifting the weight to the front, so you're in a cow, to the side, to the back, you're in a cat, to the side. Continuing, when you realize that you've let go of your fingers in the prayer, lift those elbows and activate the bones in the hands, your phalanges. Making sure that you go both ways with that Sufi roll. And then you can begin to shift your hands out of the prayer place in the sternum and begin to allow the hands to move around a little bit, perhaps leading with the right hand, leading with the left, imagining that your hands are like a couple dancing across a dance floor. And last breath. If you've allowed yourself to drift into something a little bit more organic, then whoopee. Taking one last breath with the eyes closed, if you've been able to keep them closed. Otherwise, close them for a moment and recenter. Inhale. Exhale, side out through the mouth. Release the hands onto the knees. Drop the chin into the chest. Inhale, lift the head back to center. Exhale, look to the right. Hold it there for a moment, maybe even using your left hand on your left knee, to just draw yourself into a very gentle twist. You maybe even have your right hand on your right thigh. Lengthening into the spine, lengthening into the neck, imagining that you're a giraffe for a moment and that you are experiencing the most beautiful long neck, and then look over your right shoulder. Draw the belly button to the spine, lengthen into the spine. Inhale, exhale, slide the chin across the chest, come back to center. Inhale as you exhale, looking over to the left. And then again, using your right hand on your right knee, lengthening into the spine, imagining that you're sitting up taller and taller and taller into that spine. And then bending into that right elbow, using your left hand on your left knee or thigh to gently take yourself a little bit deeper into that twist. Again, lengthening, coming back to that giraffe feeling, floating the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Opening up the crown chakra, consciously choosing to let the divine enter. Inhale, exhale, remembering that the divine is not a separate entity to you. It's kind of a recycling of energy. You are the drop and you are also the ocean. Slide the chin back to chest. Inhale the head up to center. We're going to take a short little Kundalini Kriya here, sticking it in. We're all a little tense in the neck. This is a very gentle Kriya. It needs to be done right, even though you're doing it quickly. So you're looking to the left, looking to the right, looking to the left, looking to the right. Starting at that pace. Looking to the left, looking to the right, looking to the left, looking to the right. And then maybe you can start to go a little faster. If you're yanking your head around and you're feeling a lot of tension in your neck, you're doing it not well. It's like you're trying to find the looseness in the neck. So you want it to almost feel like, remember when you got those cheap plastic dolls where you could just rip the head off the neck of the doll? But there's no triggers there. You want your head to feel as if you could literally slot it off of your spine. And if you're familiar with the practice, you've obviously picked the pace up a little bit. You can do this with your eyes closed. In fact, if you're new to it, definitely close your eyes. It can cause a little bit of dizziness. Inhale, exhale. If you know the mantra, you're using Sat-Nam or Sat-Nam, 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 Sat-Nam. Sat-Nam, 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 Sat-Nam. Or Sat-Nam, 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 Sat-Nam. So many options there. Relax the jaw and come back to center. Allow the eyes to close if you haven't yet. Feel the prana shifting around you. Feel the prana shifting in the room. And last breath, walk your hands gently forward, coming into a lovely, delicious forward fold. If this is not lovely and delicious for you, do not worry. Just go as far forward as you can manage. Inhale, take a little halfway lift. Exhale, fold further forward. Again, just checking in with that neck. Soften the chin down towards the chest. If your forehead is on the floor, yay. If not, it doesn't matter. And your next breath, rolling over the ankles, over the shins, coming up onto all fours. And kneading the ground as if you were a cat, making your way into some cat and cow. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, really feeling, again, that energy, that prana begin to shift. And then maybe moving into something a little bit more organic. I just want to check the time. Good, okay, a little bit more organic. Remembering we're taking a moon practice. Your yin, your feminine, your softer, nourishing. These are all words related to the moon. So taking whatever organic movement feels good for you here, finding it in your hips. Maybe a little figure 8. And then taking the hands a little further apart, tucking the toes under, coming up to a super chilled downward facing dog. Take some pedals. Draw the belly to the spine if it's comfortable. If it is your moon time, don't be pushing and pulling over there. Just let it relax. Let her soften down. Let the belly be round and beautiful. Check in with that neck one more time. And then find a moment or two of stillness in your dog. Draw the heels down, sharpen the sit bones, micro-bend those elbows. Don't make this a yin just yet. Activate the muscles and the skeleton. Feel how your bones are working with your muscles. Connective tissue, ligaments, tendons, fascia. It's all working together. Last breath. Look towards hands. Step your right leg in between your hands. If you need to come down onto your knees before you do that, no problem. And then just sliding backwards and forwards between that low lunge and that half split. This is a winner for me, man. Do it all the time. And then landing into this half crescent, half moon lunge. This is one of the names, one of the many names for this posture. Take hold of your wrists. Doesn't matter which hand you start with. Take your thumb and index finger around the wrist. Drop a little deeper into the hips if you can. If it's not feeling safe for you in the lower back, pull back. Lengthen the tailbone towards the ground. Draw your pubic bone towards your belly button. You're tucking you're guiding the direction of your pelvis. And if you're all the way in a little bit deeper, then see if there's a little bit more space. Feel the ribcage lifting and opening as you take the arms back behind your head. Swap your wrist grip, gently drawing that arm almost out of the socket, but not out of the socket, obviously. And breathe. Soften the shoulders away from the ears as you release the grip. Take the arms around the back, long, wide, languid arc. Playing around there a little bit, feel what's actually happening. Spread those fingers nice and wide. Roll the shoulders back and down. Take the hands. So if your hands are clasped already, release and come back into this area and feel what's happening here. Imagine that you're a mermaid. Who doesn't want to be a mermaid? And your arms are fins. If you're a fish, not a mermaid. And then eventually reaching back to those fingers, clasping them, lift the chest, open the heart. Inhale, exhale. If you're not down as deep as this and you're somewhere over here, this is beautiful. You are where you are, and where you are is exactly where you're meant to be. Inhale, exhale. Last breath. Gently release those elbows. Inhale the arms up above the head. Hands down on either side of the front foot. Lift the back knee. Inhale, exhale. Drop into your dog one more time. Take a little pedal. Inhale, exhale. Come up onto the toes. If you want to take a turbo dog, I wouldn't if I were you. If it's your moon turn, drop the knees down. Take a cat, take a cow. Oh. Inhale, exhale. And then from here, walking yourself forward onto your belly, coming to a sphinx. Drop the chin to the chest. You can yin this baby now. Just rock the hips from side to side for a moment if you like. Drop the chin to the chest or lift your gaze and keep it even. Take a breath or two. Inhale, exhale. And last breath. Take your hands, your elbows out to the side. And then take your hands below your shoulders or use the forearm cheat. Tuck your toes. Try not to plank up. Lift your bum, come onto the knees, push back, and come into open-kneed extended child. It's a gentle moon practice, a gentle moon practice. Settle here for a moment. Feel the belly dropping between the thighs. Surrender to the mat, surrender to the earth. Surrender to the wisdom that you carry inside you. Last breath. Walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. Push yourself up. Come onto your knees, tuck your toes, roll up through the spine. So tuck the tailbone, push it forward, roll up. Coming up to your camel, keep your toes tucked under, rest your hands in your lower back, fingers up or down, doesn't matter. Draw the elbows tight, lift the chest, open the heart. Feel this traction. I even like to sometimes take my hands onto my ribs and imagine that I'm picking myself up and lifting myself a little higher. I feel convinced that it works, guys. Don't be afraid to touch yourself. Don't be afraid to touch yourself. And then push the hips forward, just the hips. You don't even have to drop the head back. We're just getting to the low back here, into the moon. Inhale, exhale, last breath. Release, coming up. Sit your bum down to your heels. Take your hands a little further out in front of you. Keep your toes exactly where they are. Push up. Downward facing dog. Take a moan, take a groan. A bit of a lion's breath or just a sigh. Micro bend the elbows, draw them towards each other, draw the belly to the spine. If that's comfortable, then let it drop. Inhale, exhale. Look towards hands. Step your left leg between your hands. Slide it backwards and forwards. Low lunge, half split. Couple of times and then land it. You're moving into that crescent lunge. Inhale the arms up. Take whatever arm variation you like here. Maybe you're swimming in the sea again. Guys, I'm longing for the ocean. Or maybe you're sweeping the arms up and back. Just checking the depth of that hip. Checking in with the lower back. Give the wrists a little shake. Drop into it for the last moment. Wherever you are, obviously if you're a little further back, no problem. And last breath. Pull it back. Lift your back knee. Inhale, exhale. Take it back to the dog. Inhale, exhale. Drop down onto your knees. Take your feet out to one side. Sit down on your bum. Take your legs out in front of you. Come straight to a delicious little diamond. Inhale, exhale. Lift the chest. Take your hands onto your ankles. Lift your chest, open your heart like a cow sensation. Draw the elbows tight into the waist. Coming up onto your sit bones. Have a little wriggle or a jiggle there if it feels nice. Inhale as you exhale. Hinge at the hip. So you're not just rounding into the back. Hinge at the hip. Walk your hands as far forward as you can. Still trying to feel the spine lengthening. We're not just dipping down into a rounded back like we would for yin. Until you've gone as far as you can with that lengthened spine. Then you can let the back round, soften the chin to the chest, crown to the ground. Maybe there's a sigh, there's a moan, there's a groan. Maybe you want to draw the belly to the spine. Maybe you want to let her hang low. And last breath. Gently walking it back. Take your hands out behind you. Flatten the feet to the floor. Take your bum to your heels. Lift your bum and drop your sacrum down on the ground. Oh yeah. Turn your fingers out behind you. Give your arms a little stretch. You can let your spine, your torso kind of collapse between the shoulders there and just drop the chin into the chest. Inhale. Exhale. And then release it, slide that hand out, come all the way down onto your back. Taking a short little Shavasana. And if you're a fan of Supta Baddha Konasana, you can take your little Shavasana and Supta Baddha Konasana. If you feel like you need to take another little twist or some other thing, you can do that. So wriggling and jiggling and do what you've got to do. If you've got to put something warm on, get that. Come back to the breath. Just for the last moments of our moon practice, just bringing your hands onto your belly. And just allowing the belly to rise and fall. Connecting with your womb, connecting with the moon, connecting with your body. Just letting the weight of the body sink down to the ground for these last 2 or 3 moments. Last breath. Gently begin to move the hands, just giving the belly a bit of a rub, sliding the hands a little further up the torso. Beginning to flatten the feet down to the ground if you've had them in Supta Baddha Konasana. If they were straight, then just bending the knees, flatten the feet down to the ground, letting the pelvis, the sacrum rest for a moment. Take a breath, and then bring the knees up into the chest, give them a squeeze. Either rolling backwards and forwards along the length of the spine or rolling over onto your side, pushing yourself up to a comfortable seated position, whatever that is for you. Come to sit up tall. Inhale, exhale, bring the hands to prayer at the heart center. Hari Om Tat Sat. Take it easy. Happy moon time.